everybody, and welcome back to Dr. Holloman's music class. And the subject of today is we're going to do a review of the website Blooket. Now, Blooket is one that I actually had some of my junior high kids tell me about in the past years ago, and we have all just fallen in love with it. All my classes love playing Blooket, even my high school kids. There are so many great aspects to this. It takes Kahoot. If you're familiar with Kahoot already, if you're not, I've done a review video on Kahoot that you can go check out. But with Blooket, it takes Kahoot to a whole new level. So let's get in and learn a little bit of how to use Blooket and ways that you can use it in your music classroom. Okay, you guys, here is the Blooket website. It's real simple, blooket.com, BLOOKET.com. If you are, your students are coming at it and they're joining a game, they do it, basically they sign up for the game the same way that they do for Kahoot. You're going to go to the website. Unfortunately, if you're using, I do have to say this, if you're using some kind of device like an iPad or an iPhone or an Android device, like a tablet of some kind, there is no app to download. They currently don't have an app that you can download for this, like Kahoot. On our iPads in the classroom, the kids just go straight to the Kahoot app and they're able to get into their games that way. But with Blooket, we have to go into the Internet Explorer on the iPad in my classrooms, which of course is Safari. We do have Chromebooks. Every one of our kids, at least, so I want to say third grade on up, have Chromebooks. So if they have their Chromebooks with them and we're doing a Blooket, they can go to the website via the Google on their Chromebooks. But for this one, they click join a game. And when they click join a game, the code that is at the top of your screen is what they put in. And then once they put in their game ID, they're able to put in their name and pick their avatar. And the avatars are funny little creatures, and it's so funny watching the kids get competitive. I wanted the cheetah. Oh, I wanted the owl, and nobody get the frog. You know, it's really a lot of fun seeing them do that. So, but I'm going to log in through the teacher side of it, and you can see the little pictures of the avatars there as I'm logging in. So I'm going to log in through the teacher side of it, and my email is pretty much you can contact me through it. It's the same as my website, LMH Music Teacher. But my website, of course, is .wixsite.com/my site. So we're going to get logged into Blooket. Okay, and then you can take the tour. If this is your first time using Blooket, you can take the tour, but I'm going to basically take the tour for you, or go take you on a tour of your own. So here we go. Now, Blooket, like Kahoot, you can pay for it. So you can upgrade to different plans. Let me go down here to upgrade to plan so you can see about what they are. The starter plan is free. You get unlimited sets and edits, unique game modes, question set searches, and you can get up to 60 players in a game. When you sign up for a free account, that's what you get, and that's what I have. Now, if you want to do a plus account, you get all of that plus all the starter features, enhanced game reports, early event access, question set folders, student bonus tokens, copy and duplicate sets, and up to 300 players on a game. And if you want to upgrade it to $5 a month, you'll get all of the features in the plus and the starter, plus you'll pay monthly. Instead of a yearly charge, you do have to pay monthly, and you can cancel whenever. If you pay the yearly charge of $35.88, then you're going to have to let it run out that year if you don't want to pay for it anymore after that. But with the Plus Flex, you're able to cancel whenever you want because, of course, it is on a monthly plan. So back into Blooket. So here's what you see when you open it up first. It usually will always go to the My Sets, and you can either create your own set where you will create questions. You can have pictures on them. Again, if you're familiar with Kahoot, creating the questions is very similar to Kahoot. It is laid out almost exactly the same. Or you can discover sets, which you can either click that here to discover sets, or you can click off to the side to discover. And of course, the create button is there as well. So we're going to go over here to discover a set. And then so you can type in, let's say you want to do a set on treble clef notes. Okay, so you type in treble clef notes, and then just like Kahoot, it lists out a bunch of different games and tells you how many questions are in it, It's got the title of it, how many times it's played, and the person that actually set it forward. So I'm just going to pick this easy one here, treble clef note reading. This has got 8 questions, so I'm going to click on it. It takes you into the questions, so you can see what I'll do with these Blookets is I'll pick one, and if it is one that I like and I do want to use it, I can click favorite and save it to my favorites folder. You do have to upgrade in order to copy these things. So I would just recommend, and that is something that you can do free on Kahoot that you cannot do on Blooket. So when you get into Kahoot and you want to copy and duplicate it to save it as your own so you can modify the questions, you can do that under a free account. But with Blooket, unfortunately, you do have to have at least the $3 a month plan or the $35.88 a year plan in order to copy these and then change the questions. So that is one kind of drawback to Blooket as far as Kahoot is concerned. But believe me, it makes up for it in so many different areas. Just like Kahoot, it's got thousands and thousands and thousands, almost unlimited Blookets for whatever subject area you're looking for your music class that day. Okay, so you can assign these as homework just like you can in Kahoot, but you can also host an in-class. So I'm going to show you the in-class one first. And, of course, before we go, you can see the answers just like you can with Kahoot. So I'm going to go to host. Here's where Blooket really stands apart from Kahoot and enhances it. Look at this. We have game modes. So each of these game modes will have the students sitting in their seats. Their screen is going to look completely different from your screen. So what they'll see on their screen is the questions and the answer choices. If they pick it right, then based on which game mode you have selected, they will have to do a certain activity. Now, we'll look at the ones that have been most popular with my students that your students would probably get a kick out of. So Gold Quest is the one that is the most popular with my kids. When we go to look at, they ask, that's like the first thing they ask. Now I try to do other things with them, so we're not doing Gold Quest every time. If I do multiple Blookets throughout a few lessons or something. So for Gold Quest, what happens on their screens is they'll get the question, they'll select the answer. If they select the correct answer, they get the option of selecting from 3 treasure chests. Now, depending on which treasure chest they pick, they can either get gold, or they can go in and steal somebody's gold or swap gold with somebody. So if they steal or swap, they actually get the list of the other players, which are the other students in the classroom, and they can select a name from that list as who they want to steal an amount of gold from, or the ones that they want to completely swap all the gold. On your screen, and I always project, put this on my smartboard so they can see what's going on. On your screen, what you see is you'll get the list of who's in first, second, third, whatever, all the way down, and it changes rapidly. On the other side of your screen, you have a list of who all swapped with who all stole whose gold and things like that. And it's always fun to call that out because the students on their end may not realize that they just got gold stolen. So when you say so-and-so, or I'm just using, regular, just Bobby Joe names here. So Bobby Joel just stole 5,000 gold from Susie Sally. And then you'll hear Susie Sally in the room go, Bobby Joe, why did you do that? And it's just so fun, the interaction between them. Crypto Hack is very similar to Gold Quest. But you're using Bitcoin, but they call it crypto in the game as opposed to gold. So, but this one, it adds another layer to it. Before you can actually steal or swap that person's crypto, you have to guess their password. And of course, the student doesn't put in and type in the letters and numbers for their own password. It gives them a choice of passwords to choose from. And once that password has been hacked, they have to go in and change their password so that you don't get a student figure out Susie Sally's password, and then he goes and steals from her every time. So what will happen is once their password has been cracked, they have to go in and pick a new password, and they have super, super fun with this one. Fishing Frenzy is another one we've had. That's not as much fun for the kids as it is the other two, but for Fishing Frenzy, when they get the question right, they actually get to cast their line into the water, and they'll pull out objects like fish and boots and octopus and feathers and all kinds of different things. And this one is gauging the winner on who's got the most weight by the end of it. So if you pull out octopus, it's not going to weigh as much as a big old fish. And then there's spots where you're given the choice to either cast your line or do, oh gosh, I forget what it's called. Basically, you're hacking everybody's screen. So there's something that you click and it'll put all these octopuses dancing all the way across the screen so that nobody can see their screens to answer their questions. Or it'll put like a boot dancing across the screen, or all of a sudden everybody will, their screens, there'll be frogs raining down from the top and things like that. So they can sabotage. I think that's what it's called. It's called sabotage. Okay, so tower defense is one that I haven't really done with the kids. So I will click on that one so we can see what it says. So with this one, they're answering the questions and they're building towers to upgrade the defenses to stop waves of evil books. Now, this one you can host or assign for homework. All of these, when you click on them, some of them you can host the game. Some of them you can host and assign for homework. Just like you can with Kahoots, you can assign Kahoots for homework. Monster Brawl is one where they're actually, when they get the question correct, they're allowed to move around a map and fight monsters in order to collect experience points to level up their abilities. And the person with like the most experience points is the one that wins at the end. Deceptive Dinos is one that they actually, I would say, in the list of their favorites is probably number 3, because here's what sets Deceptive Dinos apart. With Deceptive Dinos, when you get the question correct, you get eggs, and you can choose to cheat and get to see in the egg how many fossils are in the egg. But here's the thing. You also have the option of going in to see if you can catch someone cheating. And then they get exposed, and I do believe you get some of their fossils when you catch someone cheating. Now, if you don't cheat and you just click on an egg, then you're just getting however many fossils are in that particular egg. They have a really good time with that. Battle Royale, this one I would not do unless you got some time to dedicate to it. Because instead of everyone working at their own pace on the questions, and fighting it out however they are with like Gold Quest, Crypto Hack, so on and so on. For Battle Royale, they're actually pitting players against each other one-on-one to see who can be the last one standing getting correct answers. This one takes a while. The kids sometimes will ask for it, but if we're crunched for time, I'll tell them no, we're going to have to do one that's going to go a little quicker, because with Gold Quest, Crypto Hack, the Fishing Frenzy, Monster Ball, things like that, the stuff that's not one-on-one, you can actually set a time limit. So you can set it for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. So if it's the end of class and you need to do a quick assessment, but you only have about 6 minutes left, you set it for 5 minutes, so you have time to shut down the end of class before they move on. If you're anything like the way my school does it, the teacher drops them off and we'll pick them up after 40 minutes of class with me. So Battle Royale definitely is one that you need to have like a big chunk of time to dedicate to. Tower Defense, this is another one. So you got Tower Defense, the original, Tower Defense 2. This one just takes it up a grade a little bit, but same concept for both. Cafe, they're actually going to be cooking with each other, cooking to upgrade their cool cafes. So you can see the little in the picture here, they can upgrade and get different foods and things like that, upgrade parts of their cafe. For the factory, this one, they got to answer the questions really quick to unlock blocks and make cold hard virtual cash. So this is just basically a cash factory. So just like with Gold Quest, it's very similar among that, but the person who's most cash at the end gets it. Now with racing, each time you get a correct answer, your little avatar moves forward some. And so you've got to get the questions answered as correctly and as quickly as possible to get your avatar to the end. So that's the thing about racing. Blook Rush, this is one where they are planning to take blocks from each other and defend their blocks that are being taken. So similar to, of course, Gold Quest and Crypto Hack, just they're calling them blocks as opposed to gold or cryptocurrency or dinosaur fossils. With Crazy Kingdom, the thing about this one, you can only assign it as homework. That is it, period. So with this one, they have to keep their kingdom running via the correct answers and things like that. And they have to use limited resources to do that. Personally, I've never done this one. I've never had a situation where I've assigned it for homework. But the kids have played it with other teachers. And so this is one that they tend to like to do. Tower of Doom, here's another one that you can only assign as homework. So you have a tower, you're collecting these cards that you can use to help defeat the evil blooks that are trying to climb. They're trying to get into your tower, and you got to climb up the Tower of Doom before the evil blooks get you, things like that. And then if you just want to do it classic, this just looks like a good old-fashioned Kahoot game where they get 4 answers on their screen. It's all put on your screen at the same time. So if you're wanting to do it, if you can't find a assessment that you want to do on Kahoot, but you find it on Blooket and you want to play it the same way you do Kahoot, then the classic Blooket is the option that you want to do. So that's just a rundown of some of the game modes. And again, the kids have so much fun with these. Really, really such a good time. And what I love about it, it's set up similar to Kahoot. So if you're already familiar with the Kahoot system, again, this just takes that to a whole new level. And of course, you can save some to favorites. You can see some of the favorites that we have done here. We work on solfege with my 2nd and 3rd graders and identifying me, so, and la. I have this one here, instruments of the orchestra. You can see some sight reading. I do this one with my junior high students. When we watch certain musicals, like or in movies, Beethoven Lives Upstairs, The King and I, you can find questions about that. When we do our Beethoven unit in 3rd grade, of course, I have this one. So if I find one that I just really, really, really like, I can click on, leave it in my favorites, and I don't have to go find it again. Also, you can see your history of things that we've done in the past. And these are some of the ones we did at the end of the year, just to kind of round out the last few days of the year. You see 522, 522, and it'll tell you. And if you didn't save it to your favorites, but you know it's in your history, you can always go back and find it this way. Here's where you can keep up with your homework. As you can see, my situation, I've never had a situation where I'm assigning this as homework. Blooket is newer to me than it is Kahoot. I know how to assign Kahoots. I do those, but I just haven't done a Blooket yet. Not that I don't want to, I don't know how, it's just something I haven't done. But of course, this is where they can keep up with the homework assignments. You hit the play button, and I think that lets you actually join a game. If you want to go in and find an ID, or if you get together with some teachers and y'all want to practice this, or if you are a upcoming music educator who's working on their undergrad or grad right now, you can get with your class and experience one of these Blookets. Somebody picks out one and acts as the teacher, things like that. Of course, you go into settings, is where you find your user information. You can add your social media if you want. If you pay for it and become a creator of Blookets and you want to put that information there, you totally can. So that's just a rundown of Blooket. I hope that you enjoyed a look at this one, and I hope that you find this useful. This is one that I found after I had been doing Kahoots for a while. The kids were like, let's try this instead. And I absolutely fell in love with it. Blooket is one of my favorite things to do. And yes, we still use Kahoot. I use Kahoot more with my high school kids than I do with my younger kids. But of course, Blooket, if I'm looking for something where they can do independent study and I feel confident that they don't need any hints or tips as we're answering questions, then we will do a Blooket. And I think that's a way I look at it, is a little bit more advanced of an assessment, because they're having to remember these things, and when they go in to answer these questions, and you're not there to guide them as they're answering the questions or give them hints to answer it like you can sometimes with Kahoot, when you're not wanting to do a higher level assessment. You just want to just assess them. So this is, again, great opportunity for some assessments, assigning homeworks, things like that. So as always, make sure to visit my website, lmhmusicteacher.wix.com/mysite, listed here at the bottom, and my YouTube channel, Dr. Holloman's Music Class. And I look forward to seeing you on my website soon, so you can explore some of the other reviews that I've done on things like Kahoot and Edpuzzle and Flipgrid and things like that. And of course, there is a contact me portion on my website. So if you have any questions, or you want me to review any kind of app or website, or if you need tips for your elementary classroom at all, or choir, then you can contact me that way. So I hope you'll go enjoy it again, and I will see you next time. Bye.